So is it just you?
And Casey.
Casey, good.
Kaylee, come up here. And Carly. Who wants to come be on our panel? Anybody?
In our family.
Get up here. This is my microphone. Nobody touch it.
Charles and Allie, if you're in the room, you're supposed to be here too. Someone want to text them? Thank you.
They are part of the family.
They are part of the family, the Shaytards family. How big is the Shaytards family? I mean, is there like a never-ending supply of you?
All Shaytards.
You guys be quiet under there.
Is it one of those things where if I like take 5 steps in Idaho, I'm going to run into one of you? Do you like run that state?
We've moved all of them to California now.
Migrated.
No, it's weird. It's weird that our whole family kind of got into this, but you know, they're all kind of like me.
Is it weird?
Not really.
Did you plan this from the beginning? Did you plan, the minute you found YouTube, Shay, you were like, I have found what I can get my entire family to do for the rest of our lives?
It's slowly it's slowly revealing that's to me, but not when I first. It wasn't a master plan. No, but not like. Is it time to go to the pool yet? Is it 7 yet?
This business day is dying quick. But no, let's talk family. What's it like to be the first family of YouTube?
I don't know. It's weird. We're so used to. Here comes trouble. All right. It's cool. We like it. We enjoy.
Ed's part of our family.
Ed's part of our family. It's weird that now that this is kind of like a family business, it wasn't on purpose. It wasn't planned that way. But
don't lie.
It wasn't.
Don't lie.
It was just one of those things where it's like, this is working for us, and I knew, my brother and sister, and they're hilarious too. So I thought they could do this and move out to LA, and we can make it work. So it's working.
Because you moved back to Idaho.
Yeah, we moved back to have a baby.
Yeah.
We all have all of our babies in Idaho. That's the rule.
That's the rule?
She had the baby. She did all the baby having.
So if you have the next baby, are you moving back to Idaho again?
No, we'll probably stay in LA now.
Yeah, we moved to Idaho because we originally, that was the master plan, is we're going to go, kind of get the company started underway, and then be able to move back. And then when we moved back, we just felt like we need to be in LA. That's where the heart of it was, and things were going on. It was growing so fast, things were happening. We decided, let's go back. And so we did, and then we just decided to bring everybody else with us.
Yeah, we missed our family, so instead of moving home, we said, we'll bring our family.
Like, come be our friends, please.
They lived in California for a year and decided they couldn't make friends, so they brought us along to hang out with them.
Yeah.
I mean, is there anything better? You get paid to be a brother.
Yeah, I take it.
What I love about these guys is they're hilarious. Like, family reunions with these guys like Carly, Casey, and Shay, it's like, they're crazy. Kaylee, you too. But like, as a family, brother and sister, like, they're so wild and crazy that I think they all have that niche, or whatever Shay has that makes him so awesome. They all have that personality of just being funny and being out there, and so it just fit. It was perfect.
And because you, correct me if I'm wrong, born and raised in Idaho.
Yep.
Yes? So when was the first time, but when was the first time you ever visited California? Or LA, I guess I should say.
When we moved there?
No, she went there when she was a kid, to Disneyland.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
The reason I ask is just kind of set up, for you, how much convincing or how much hesitation did you have, being, born and raised in an area where you feel comfortable, where you have your family, where you have your friends, and all of a sudden your husband's like, let's move the whole family to LA, and then you move back, and then you decide to move. I mean, were you scared to move to LA? I mean, and not just like LA, but I mean, like, you have a family, you have lots of kids. It's probably easier to raise a family in Idaho than LA necessarily. I mean, that can be debated, but what was it like for you moving your family?
I was terrified at first, but we've moved around a lot in our marriage, but never. I feel like why I was so scared about moving to LA was that I knew that it would be more permanent, because things were happening so quickly. Hi, Charles, welcome.
Come up here, Ale. Sorry. These are our newest brother and sister.
Yeah. So I felt like, yeah.
It was hard. It was hard to convince her to move to LA, because it was my sell was, listen, honey, we can get in the van and in 12 hours we can be back in Idaho. It takes 1, 2, 3 takes to get gas. We can be home.
I've always always trusted in Shay's ability to live out his dreams. So that's why it was easier. I mean, that's what made me, okay, I just trust it. It's worked before, it's worked so far, let's just trust it. And yes, we could get in the van and drive back any second, so.
I feel like you probably like living in California more than anybody though now.
Now I do. Now I'm like, yeah, the beach, it's snowing in Idaho. I'm gonna go back.
I'm just wondering when Charles and Allie are moving to California.
Yeah, what are you guys
We
coming?
come out so much. We pretty much like live at your house and we come over there.
LA.
They're honorary LAians. Let's take some questions from you guys. You guys have any questions? Is that okay? I can go over here.
I'm ready to go to the
Seriously, we don't know what we're doing. Come back.
Are you leaving out?
No. I was wondering how, like, when I was like, okay, he's not turning. He's turning around.
So does anyone have any questions? Shout it out.
I feel like we're in school, like we know everyone's like raising.
I know.
Should we just start falling on
Blue shirt.
Blue shirt.
Hi, wanted to ask about your kids and giving them cameras and that whole thought process of putting them out there and how they responded to that.
Well, Zoe and Marley are fine with it.
It's a concern we've had because it's like, you know, we're showing all these people our children, you know, in our homes. And we wouldn't do it if they weren't into it. Like, trust me, our kids love what we do. They like it too much. Like, they want to watch themselves. Last year at Playlist Live, they were pissed that they didn't get to go on stage. Like, after I had gone on stage and I was like, hey, we came backstage and they were like, do we get to go on now? I was like, oh, no, it's just me. And they were disappointed that they didn't get to go up and see everybody. So they love it. When will they do it on their own? Never. I don't know. That's scary. That's more scary for me because right now I'm in charge and I control it and I make sure everything's okay. But
what's so funny, Shay, is I feel like for 2 years now, people have been 2 or 3 years now, people have been asking, oh, when are your kids gonna get their own channels? When are your kids gonna get their own channels?
Right.
And it's so funny to watch them grow up. And I feel like in a few years, those questions are gonna get kind of serious.
That's what
Your
sucks.
son's getting to that age.
it's Princess Tard that I'm more worried about because she already has her channel design layout in her mind. She tells me how she wants it to look. She tells me when to cut. She got a Hello Kitty camera for Christmas, and we're in the truck driving home, and she's like, blah, 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 blah. Okay, Dad, I want you to save that for this video, and then there's some more clips on there you save for the next video. Like, she's telling me when to use the footage and stuff. I'm like, you're sick. Shut up.
No, but what I think is also awesome about your kids is at the last playlist, they sat there for 5, 6 hours, autograph after autograph, and they were so excited, just like the smiles on their face. I could not sign autographs for 6 hours and be smiling about it, and they just didn't want to stop. They did not want to stop.
It's weird, yeah. It's kind of like their lives now. Like when we were at the mall the other day, and I was inside the store looking at something, and Chloe's outside taking some pictures with people. And Shaytards walks in, and I'm like, who's mom talking to? He's like, oh, some people watch our videos. Just like, he's so bored by it, you know what I mean? I'm like, well, go say hi to him. He's like, I did already. All right. But it's weird that...
Is it a challenge to kind of keep them grounded? I mean, because YouTube fame and celebrity or whatever, you've definitely seen the examples of it going to people's heads and, changing them or whatever. Do you ever worry about how it's affecting them, especially since they're growing up in it?
Yeah, we had an instance even when Colette used to go to, our son's school to help with math, and some of the kids were like, is he famous? Because he says he's famous. And some of the other kids are like, he's famous. And some of the other kids are like, he's not famous. And she's like, he's just like a normal kid, just like you guys. And so we've had that a little bit, and we've kind of like tried to teach them, like, not to have that. What's that?
Only daddy's famous.
Right.
And mommy.
Yeah. You're nowhere near as famous as I am. But yeah, that's something, I definitely don't want my kids to be, douchebags. So.
That's not very
Wow.
Nobody was filming that, right?
The one thing that I've noticed about the kids is, what I like about it is it's a huge confidence builder for them. I mean, Shay's not anymore, but I'm a fat guy on YouTube that people like, that can be funny, that you don't have to be, have all these special talents, but everyone's special in their own ways. And I mean, for my kids, and obviously Shay's kids, it's a huge confidence builder for them.
Yeah, and I think when that does happen, like if they do start to get like, oh, I'm famous, like if we can just teach them, rein them back a bit and teach them like why we do this and how it's really affecting people's lives and that we should be grateful for everything, then it just helps them have more perspective, like why we're really doing this and what it means to other people, what they do.
Other than that too, like if this all ended tomorrow, it's kind of a weird thing with our kids because they grew up like this. So it's not like they're gonna get famous and change. This is who they've been raised as, and that's kind of weird. And people have asked like, well, is that healthy for your kids? Well, it's like, this is our job, this is what we do. Just like any kid who has to get up at 6 in the morning and go milk his dad's cows because his dad's a farmer. He may not like that, but this is what we do. And if at any moment our kids were like, don't film me, or they didn't like it, we wouldn't, come on, you gotta be cute. They are, they're little actors and actresses just because of their awareness.
Do you see them becoming actors and actresses because of this?
I worry about it because of it, because they are really genuinely talented as entertainers because their whole life they've been aware of this camera where it's like, there is definitely a vlog voice and a not vlog voice. When you're vlogging, you have to be entertaining. But when you're talking to the kids, you're just chilling. But they feel that. They know when we're vlogging, and it's like...
They know to turn it up?
They know that it's like, they gotta be funny. And it's interesting, because Princess Tard, especially, she tries to be funny. And so, she's not always funny, because she'll say things that's like come across as really bratty, and then the cute comments, it's like, oh. So some of that we have to cut out, but she's just trying to entertain people, and it's interesting to see her doing that. Sometimes she's not always good at it, she comes across the wrong way. But it's funny to watch a 6-year-old have that knowledge and being like, I'm trying to be funny right now. So it's weird.
Is that weird? Do you get comments critical of your parenting or whatever? Do you ever experience any of that?
Nobody seems to have an opinion about anything.
But I think that's a serious thing. If I was a parent and I was getting all these comments like, you're not raising your kids right, like do you just ignore it, or how do you deal with that?
Carly?
Yes. Oh. I'm an awesome mom. Nobody disagrees.
So you're just like, F you, I'm an awesome mom.
Cooper, he's not, he's with his dad sometimes, he's not on the camera like their kids are all the time, so he's still a little bit camera shy, and it was so funny the other night, I was washing my face and I walked out of the bathroom and he had his Batman hat on and he was like, Mom, I'm gonna be dancing and I'm gonna be cool like Shaytards. So it's like his idol, and every time I go home to pick him up, he's like, am I almost as big as Shaytards right now? He's my brother. But it's hard because, wait, what were we talking about?
Just like, if someone's critical in the comments on your parenting.
Yeah, this is my saying now, I'm famous for hold my hoops, but it's like, be rude to me, but as soon as you talk about my son, hold my hoops. Like, people aren't, I don't think, mean as a parent, but when they say things about our kids, I'm like, watch out, I'm coming for you.
Yeah,
you guys feel the same way?
Where it's like, if the kids don't have their helmets on,
their seatbelts
strapped down, we hear
They notice more things than I notice. I'm like, oh, he didn't have a seatbelt on, I didn't know that. Whoops. I wasn't paying attention.
In the car, what?
It's really interesting. Obviously, Allie and I don't have kids. We are getting our parenting tips from all 5 of these guys. So it's kind of interesting because we're so close with them.
You guys mess up as much as you want.
So,
mess up a lot, so you have a lot to learn from.
They're doing something that, anyone on YouTube is something so new, but to have kids and raise the kids, literally it's like probably these 5 people and then other YouTubers are the only people in the world doing something like this, as unique as this. So I'm always like watching the videos, I'm like,
but seriously, do you really feel like you've learned how to be a better father from them?
You're learning with them, and other people too, just because it's so new and so unique. Because we got kids now, I wouldn't have thought of certain things that you two have done with your kids. So it's kind of interesting to see how you go about something like that. So.
And kind of to relate the question to you, do you ever get comments critical on your relationship?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Really?
There's anything. You can do anything.
Like literally, if Charles even speaks to another girl today, you're like, oh, he's sleeping with her. They're having an affair. I talk to a guy, oh, she's sleeping around with that guy. I'm like, all right, guys. They do, and I think it's kind of like, because especially you guys are so positive. It's hard. In reality, the TV shows and everything that's in media now, it's like a lot of it's based on drama and action, and always some new storyline coming up, and so I think people kind of are itching to see
look for that in what they consume.
Yeah, we've chosen, I think all of us have kind of made the choice to be really positive. Of course negative things happen. Of course, you know, we have fights. Of course things aren't perfect all the time. But like we choose not to show that because so much of that is already out there. But then people want that. They're like, where is that? Where's the drama?
People
Where's
forget
the, where are the
sometimes that
problems?
real life is often boring.
Yeah, we try.
They create the thing, and yeah, it's kind of interesting.
But yeah, oh my gosh, people are quick to judge.
That's I literally, because of the YouTube comments, I feel like I don't ever want to be critical of anybody in my entire life ever again. YouTube, I feel like I'm a better person because of the negative comments on YouTube, because I've seen so many, literally over the 4 years, I mean hundreds and hundreds of thousands of comments, and they range from everything like I'm gonna murder and kill you to I love you, where I feel that where it's like I'm never gonna like say anything bad about anybody ever again because I don't know that person, and there's
like much less quick to judge. You're like,
oh,
okay,
yeah.
maybe there's an understory. Maybe
because
there's something else.
Yeah, that I don't know about. Yeah, maybe something's happened in that person's life that I have no idea about. So why would I make a snap judgment about that person? Because I don't know. But I wasn't that way before, because as human nature, it's easy, like, oh, look at that person's problem. You got a problem, I can see it, it's poking out. That sucks about being fat, because your problems are like right there, you know? It's like right there, you can see your problems.
It's like they can say those things without having the repercussion of you seeing them, knowing
right,
them, getting
yeah.
to defend yourself. So, sorry, I thought I was
now
loud.
we're just having a conversation. So yeah, I feel like because of the comments, it's like I'm not gonna ever be critical about anybody ever again because I don't know where they're coming from, and so I feel like in a weird way the comments have helped me.
Sometimes.
All right, very cool. Well, if we get a big round of applause for all of them. Okay, who's ever on the last panel, let's do this so we can go get dinner. It's just Megan Tonjes. It's the Megan Tonjes panel.